皆さんこんにちは and welcome to Shogo's podcast. So today I like to talk about something that I personally feel is really important when someone thinks that they want to change or they want someone else to change. Yes. So I always meet a lot of people who tell themselves that, oh, I'm not a good person or I'm not a motivated person, so I can't do this, I can't change, this is who I am, kind of thing, and suffer and torture themselves by blaming themselves that they don't have a strong will or they're not motivated or things like that. I have a friend, for example, who feels that she is overweighted, a little bit fat, and she says that because she doesn't have a very strong will, she can't get thinner. Yeah, for example, or I can't, for example, get better at my job because I don't have any skills, I'm not talented, and things like that. Yes, but so today's story is something that I really want everyone who thinks this way to keep in mind because it's something that changed me too. Yeah. Now, first of all, I really think the fundamental idea to understand what I'm going to be talking about is that humans, the biggest ability, the skill of humans is that we're able to adapt to new environments. Because for example, bears and maybe gorillas might have bigger bodies and stronger muscles, and horses and dogs can probably run much faster than humans, right? Then what is the skill of a human being, right? What's so special about us? Now, if you try to answer this question from a point of view of brain science, neuroscience, and things like that, I believe there'll be a lot of answers, that we're able to create a cognitive universe or whatever, things like that. But one of the things that I always think was amazing about humans is that we're able to adapt to any environment very, very flexibly because we're able to create a community and so on and so forth, right? Yeah. So that's the reason why humans are able to inhabit almost everywhere on earth, right? I think that's something very, very special and unique that we're able to change with so much flexibility. So what I'm trying to say here is that humans are capable of changing if the environment changes. So to make a long story short, what I'm trying to say here is that whenever you feel when you have someone you want to change, or if you want to change yourself, don't link that to that person's personality or that person's will or motivation. Link that to the environment that person is in. So what I'm trying to say is that I don't want anyone to think that it's their fault or blame themselves or blame others if they can't change for something that they want to change. So it's always about changing the environment. I'm not saying changing the environment is easy, but I don't want anyone to be blaming themselves and hurting themselves because they feel they can't change. So let me give you an actual life example of myself. A lot of people might not believe me when I say this, but I was actually a person who literally did not have, probably out of the whole universe, I was the person who didn't have confidence at all. Probably the most person who had no confidence in myself. And that's because, I might have talked about this before somewhere else too, but it's because my father actually I believe he already quit. I don't know too much about it anymore, but he was originally a president of a company, which is something that my grandfather, who passed away, started originally. And he carried on the company. And basically, I was raised originally to be the next president of the Yamaguchi family's company. And because of that, I was constantly told by my father that I'm not worthy enough. If I don't have higher skills, better manners, and so on and so forth, I will not be accepted as a member of the Yamaguchi family. Yes, because I'm not worthy enough to carry on the company, the great company that my father has created, kind of thing. Yes. So for a long time, and because my parents did not have a very good relationship either, it was very difficult for me to try to maintain a high self-confidence and things like that, because my mother was really struggling with her relationship with her husband, my father, and she really didn't have the energy left to support us kids, our mental health. She was pretty caught up with her own mental health, which is just completely fine and completely understand her now. So I'm not blaming her for anything. But anyways, that's how I grew up. And then at what point, did I suddenly start to feel that, oh, I can do everything? This is how I'm feeling right now, by the way. I really have a lot of confidence in myself, in my family, in my team Let's Ask Shogo, and I truly, from the deepest part of my heart, believe that we can accomplish anything if we keep on fighting for it. What changed me, right? Now, a lot of people tell me, wow, Shogo, you have such a strong personality. You're so motivated. I really wish I were like you, especially from a lot of Japanese friends who believe that they're continuously working at a very horrible working environment. For example, they're tortured in a company, but they don't have a strong will, so they can't change their company, for example. There's a lot of people telling me that, Shogo, you're good for you kind of thing. But the thing that actually changed me is, if you guys remember, I used to work at a place called Kyoto Samurai Experience when I was working in the traveling industry before COVID-19 came. So it was actually kind of like a 19-minute experience where people who are traveling to Kyoto can come to our facility. It was an old traditional house, 250-year-old samurai mansion. And inside there will be a 90-minute activity of the travelers putting on the budogi, the hakama, the training gear, and then practicing swinging the sword, training some Zen meditation, and it's just simply kind of like an experience that we provided. I used to work there, yeah. Before that, I used to work at a restaurant, and at some point, I really wanted to be able to talk with more people from overseas, so I changed my jobs and I started working here. But at the Kyoto Samurai Experience, what happened is it was a very small company. It was the president, me, and just two or three other staff. And I was the only person among the 4 or 5 people of the team that could speak English. So in order to start the activity, the experience, they absolutely needed me. Yep. And then at some point, what's very shocking, I actually talked about this when I talked about the black kikyo, the black companies in the past, but the president actually said one morning, about 10 minutes before the guests are coming, the president, the owner of the company, he was the one who is the instructor, and I was the interpreter of the activity. So basically, he was the one who has been training Iaido for 13 years at that point, so maybe about like 15 years now. He was the instructor, and I was just the interpreter. But one morning, he said, 10 minutes before the customers came, he's called me one morning, and he said, Shogo, you know what? I'm not going today. That's literally what he said. He said, I'm not going today. You're in charge now. And from there, I literally wasn't able to eat food for a few days. Very disgusting story, but I did have to, puke a few times because I was feeling really, really sick about the event. And from there, by the way, he literally stopped coming to work. And he basically forced me to do everything. And now, at that point, I did train in Iaido. So again, the experience was swords and Zen meditation. So I did train in Iaido, but I only have trained Iaido for just 2 years, I think, at that timing. And also, I've hardly ever cut any mats before, because the activity, in the end, after training swords, it's about cutting mats with the real katana. So I've never hardly cut any mats before, and he suddenly left me with customers who have all of their expectations, looking forward to the experience in a once-in-a-lifetime event, and he suddenly quit coming, and he left everything to me, and he said, it's up to you now. And I was like, what the heck? And thinking about it now, I would consider him to be kind of like a psychopath, actually, because of all of his actions and his very, his lack of empathy. Yeah, I'm not trying to try to make fun of him or anything, but it's really, from a third person point of view, I would say he probably has the traits of a psychopath. He really can't, from his communication, the way he talks to, you really can't understand what other people are thinking and things like that. So anyways, The guests are paying a lot of money for this experience, and he basically said, "Okay, go ahead. It's up to you. I'm not going to work anymore. I'll still be paying myself, and I'll be paying you a decent amount, but I'm not going to work anymore." And from there, for an year and a half, he literally never came to work. He showed up to the samurai mansion where we were working once in a while, like once every 2 months or something like that. But from there, he literally quit working. And from rumors, I heard that he actually was drinking outside in the entertainment districts almost every night with the company's money. And that was a really interesting experience for me. That was really, really fun. But anyways, let's get back to the main topic. What was great is that thanks to this experience, although I felt sick for a really long time, and there was times I was screaming in my pillow because I was pressured, I was very hurt, and it was a very hard experience for me. But because I did not run away, because there was no way for me to run away. I mean, the customers are here right in front of you. I can't say I'm leaving because my boss is, he gave me, what should I say, very weird instructions to just do the experience, even though I don't even have experience of teaching in the first place, right? But I chose not to give up, and as you guys might know, as I always say, the Kyoto Samurai experience, which was the experience that I used to run, it actually won third place on TripAdvisor for cultural activities category, third place in whole Japan, and it actually won number 1 in Kyoto on TripAdvisor for almost more than 1 year, actually. And of course, it's all thanks to my other staff members, and also in the environment. The samurai house itself was great and such. And of course, the katana that we used for the activity that we handed to our guests, I did not buy it. It was the boss. It was the president who bought it for me, of course, for the company. So it's not all thanks to me, obviously. But for me, it was the first time in my life that I tried something that I didn't have no clue of how to do at all, but I still got good results from it. Yes. But again, it's all thanks to everyone else, but I still gained a lot of confidence. Yeah. But you might understand, I mean, I'm not trying to say that this is good for everyone. I'm just talking about my example of my life, but this really changed me a lot, and from there, my life completely changed. From there, I was finally able to feel that, I was a person. I did not know for 99% of my life, but I was actually a person who, if I want to do something, I actually have a strong will and power to accomplish it, to achieve it. I can do the things that I want to. Even though my father, since I was small, told me that I'll never be anything, I'll never accomplish anything in my life, and I'm not worthy enough, I shouldn't exist, but I can do the things that I want to. There are things that I can accomplish. There are people who I can make happier, and there is something that I can do in my life. I can have a purpose. I was finally able to understand that and actually feel it through my skin, through the change of my environment and my experiences. Yes. So what I want to say is that if the environment changes, people are able to change. And that could be, for example, it could be anything, like in emergencies. People might be able to, like, this is like a very random example, but for example, even if you feel like you don't have a lot of power, for example, your house is on fire, you might suddenly be able to carry so many heavy things at once. Like, for example, humans are like that, right? You suddenly have a lot of power and things like that. So depending on the environment, people can really change. So like my friend, my friend who was saying that she feels that she's overweighted and she feels a little bit chubby, fat. If she really feels that way, I'm pretty sure she has a very stressful job and she tends to eat too much from it. For example, I would say don't blame yourself for it. It's not your fault. It's the environment's fault. Always make it the environment's fault. If you change the environment, you can change. That's absolutely sure, because we are humans, right? That's my idea. So I told her that if, for example, if there's something stressful in your life, try to remove that. Yeah, and not blame yourself for it. If you feel that you're overweighted, then what kind of environment can you provide yourself to change that? And I personally feel that she is not fat at all, but it's something that she thinks she is, right? And if, for example, if there's anything else you want to change, don't blame yourself. It's not you. It's not you. It's the environment. If you change the environment, you can change. And this is something that I really want to tell so many people, because so many people tend to blame themselves for it and hurt themselves for it. That I am this kind of person and never be able to change. And that's not true. You can change, because even I was able to change. So this is something that I really always tell the people who come up to me and tell me, oh, it's good for you, Shogo. But no, I did not do anything. Seriously, I did not do anything. I just let my human habits, what's the right word? Yeah, I don't know, but I just let the flow do it for me, because I had the environment, And I don't want anyone to jump into a terrible environment. There are chances that you might get more hurt, than change, but still, I just wanted to explain in this podcast today that it's all up to the environment. Yeah, and as I always say, there's always different situations and different people and different cultures around the world and such. So please let me know in the comments what you thought. Maybe you might think no, environment is not the thing that might change people. There are these aspects to it too, or things like that. I bet so. So yeah, please let me know in the comments about what you thought about my ideas. And I'm really sorry, this was a very difficult thing to explain for me, so I might have been saying the same thing over and over, but I hope you understood what I meant. I'm really sorry. And again, I'll be waiting for your comments. Please let me know what you thought. Then everyone, as I always say, the ultimate goal of my life is to make all Japan lovers' dreams come true. So I know that a lot of people are studying Japanese and willing to travel to Japan or study and work and maybe train in their traditional culture and such. Yep. But I'm very afraid that Japan will not be able to make everyone's dreams come true in the future, because we are facing a lot of social problems. We are losing our traditional culture, and also the younger generations who are supposed to be carrying on Japan are dying because of all the social issues being shoved against them. So I want to dedicate my life to try to make Japan a better place for future generations who have their hopes and dreams here. I want to try to solve the social problems. I want to preserve and evolve traditional culture, and also help out the younger generations so we can have a brighter future. Yep. And to do that, as you guys know, my first step is to achieve 1 million subscribers by January 2023 on my main channel. So all your likes and comments will help to boost my videos to new viewers who have never seen my channel before, so it'd be great if you could help me out. And also my second and third step are already in mind, and we are actually planning them every week during our weekly meetings with our team, so I hope you look forward to that. And all of this, again, all of everything I said, this dream, my movements, my motivation, all came because I changed my environment. I was able to change myself. So again, please let me know in the comments about your opinions, and I'll be waiting for all of your messages. Thank you so much everyone for listening today too.